Hello students. So now we are going to continue with the second part of the same lesson, that is the third lesson from the book Moment, Iswaran, the Storyteller by R.K. Lakshman. Okay, so till now we have learnt about the art of that Iswaran, how he used to tell the stories. Okay, so now he is continuing his story about the wild elephant, how that wild elephant destroyed all the things in his village, and then he entered in his school. So all the students were in the classroom for the safety purpose, and the teachers were on the terrace room, and they were watching to that elephant helplessly. Okay, so till that we have learnt. Now I am continuing with the story, that is, Ishwaran also watched the drama unfold from the rooftop. So he was also watching all that. Suddenly he grabbed a cane from a teacher. So cane is what? A stick. And ran out to the ground. The elephant stamped its feet in anger and swayed a tree branch in its trunk. So that elephant was stamping his feet and he was in angry swaying the branches of the tree. But Iswaran approached slowly with the cane in his hand. As the elephant raised its trunk and trumpeted loudly, Iswaran ran towards it and hit it on its third toenail. The elephant was stunned for a moment and then it shivered and collapsed. So the elephant became unconscious. At this point, instead of concluding his story, Iswaran goes to warm up dinner, leaving Mahendra hanging in suspense. Upon his return, Mahendra has to remind Iswaran to conclude his story. So, Iswaran says casually that a veterinarian was called to revive the animal. Means the vet. He came and revived the animal. And 2 days later, the animal was taken to the jungle by a maho. When Mahendra asked him how he managed to to subdue the animal, so he tells him that he had read about a technique in the Japanese art of karate or jiu-jitsu. He does not remind which actually that paralyzes the nervous system. So when he hit the animal or that elephant on its third toenail, that time the nervous system collapsed, and because of that the elephant became unconscious. So that he explained. So Iswaran's style of storytelling is so enjoyable that Mahendra happily listens to his stories every day. So he also enjoying that stories by Iswaran, regardless of whether they sound believable or not. So that doesn't matter for Mahendra. With him around, Mahendra does not mind not having a television for entertainment. So the Iswaran was a kind of entertainment for the Mahendra. So one morning, Iswaran requests Mahendra's permission to make a special dish for an auspicious occasion. It is the day when various delicacies are made to feed the spirits of the ancestor. Okay, so that was the day he wanted to serve or give that food to the spirits of his ancestor. That night Mahendra compliments Iswaran on his cooking skills. Iswaran is pleased, but then begins to tell a story, as usual, about that supernatural. Supernatural means what? That which is not natural. So Iswaran tells Mahendra that the factory area that they are living in used to be a burial grounds before. So that was a burial ground. He says burial ground means what? that where that the dead persons used to be buried. So he says that on the first day of their arrival, he saw a human skull lying on the ground, and that he frequently came across skulls and bones here. So he explained all that incidents or the things to Mahendra. But he was very normal or casual while he's talking. He also says that he can see the ghost at night, on full nights, full moon nights. He can see the ghost of a woman. He describes the ghost as a skeleton carrying a fetus in its arm. Okay, a fetus. So Mahendra is scared but dismisses Iswaran's claim as nonsense. So Mahendra said that there are no ghosts and you are talking about nonsense. But Mahendra expects Iswaran to sulk after being scolded. The next day, however, he finds Iswaran in a cheerful and talkative mood, even though Mahendra had claimed that he does not believe in ghosts and the spirits. Every night, he goes to bed with a nervous feeling. So, a kind of a nervous feeling he experienced after that. He makes it a point to always peep out of his bedroom window to make sure nothing suspicious is happening outside. So he used to check himself by looking outside the window. He used to enjoy watching moonlight fall on the ground at the time of the full moon nights. But now, however, after hearing that Iswaran's story, he stopped looking outside of his window of the full moon nights. So he became a kind of a disturbed. Okay. So on one full moon night, Mahendra hears a moan outside his window. A moan, a kind of a sound of a pen. He heard. At first, he assumes it is a cat only, but then realizes that it does not sound like a cat. He avoids looking outside because of his fear of seeing something horrific. So he was feeling that something horrific must be outside. The moaning sound grows louder. At last, he peeps outside of the window and sees a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. So he saw that exact whatever Iswaran described. He falls back into his bed, sweating and panting. After a while, he tries to reason with himself and decides that his mind is playing tricks on him. So he just made him comfort that this must be his mind playing a trick on him. So during the course of the next morning, the memory of his incident began to fade away from his mind. So he was just about to forget whatever happened last night. As he begins to leave, Iswaran greets him with his lunch packet and office bag. He reminds Mahendra about the scolding he had given him when Iswaran had told him about the female ghost carrying fetus in its arm. So Iswaran said that he knows Mahendra had seen the ghost previous night because he had also heard the moaning sound coming from outside Mahendra's window and had rushed to the spot. Mahendra does not answer but is very frightened. He hurries to his office to hand over his papers and decide to leave the haunted place the next day itself. So this is what the effect of that Iswaran story on Mahendra. Though the Mahendra was an educated person, but he started to believe that yes, there are the ghosts. So here we have ended our lesson. Thank you.